Hello and welcome. Now in this video, it's meant to just show that you can hit more than 1000 on TDs. The first clip was a 1024 on TDs. Second clip, 783 with D-Bolt, which is the highest I've ever hit. Third was a random 1028 I hit at Bandos. That was funny. It was with Piety, but I'll go back to that. Fourth was a thieving chest that I could not loot because the wall was bulged out. I wonder if they fixed that yet. But anyway, back to the Dharok one. So a while ago, some Jmod said that when you're in Dharok and your HP is below 10%, your strength doubles. And you could be lower HP, but it doesn't matter. Now, I'm not really sure what to think about this because I've proven in a previous video that with higher HP, you hit higher with Dharok. So I'm confused with what I can see in game and what a Jmod said a long time ago. Now, a thing I find really annoying about Dharok is it's really hard to get a real max hit. Because the axe will show a max hit for what the axe will normally max out at, but it doesn't take into account of your increased strength. So anything above a 600 will show as a max hit splat, even though you could probably hit up to a 900. So I'm just going over a few topics real quick. I have two more topics that I want to quickly address: the Queen Black Dragon and the combat rework. So the Queen Black Dragon is supposed to be something you could solo, which I think is actually a bad thing because the Queen could only be so hard. A single player should be able to kill her, which drops the difficulty greatly. Also, the idea of what's hard for Jagex and what's hard for us, the players, is really different. Something aimed for level 120s, according to them, is probably something aimed at level 100s for us, and could probably be done at one defense. But the thing I like is that this is going to be more as a nomad fight where you have to know what you're doing or you're going to get hurt really bad, rather than an endurance fight like the fight kiln was, where if you had full neck set and a yak of brews, you could pretty much go to 1 to 37 just dumbassing the whole way without knowing what to do and still make it with plenty of brews left over. Which was my main reason of hating the kiln update because it was that it didn't require tactics. So the fact that this is a nomad kind of fight, you have to know what the attacks are. But then, since it's a single player fight, it could only be so hard, meaning it'll probably be figured out within the first 20-30 minutes of the update. That's after people finish the quest. Which is another thing I don't like. I would love an update that would take us hours or even not days, like weeks to figure out exactly what to do. Something to keep going on and on, not something that you do for the first hour, you figure it out, and it's pretty much boring after that, which was how the kiln was for me. The first few hours of an update, it's actually pretty fun because you don't know what anything is like. You're trying new things out. You would have no idea what's going on, and that kind of thrill is pretty nice. But after you figure it out, it's you know what to do. It's kind of repetitive, like doing next. Once you figure it out, it's just repetitive motion, and it's kind of the same as going to Bandos. Once you know the prey melee, you click and kind of AFK the rest. And for the drop rate of the monster, I hope it is as rare as a Dragon Full Helm. Not because it so few people will get it, it's so that the value of the item will stay up. Where next armor, it's the drop ratio is like 1 out of 33, so that's pretty easy to come by. And nowadays, next sets aren't that expensive anymore. And that's most of what I have to say about the Queen Black Dragon. Now, for the combat rework, not much is known about this subject. But thinking back to the armor rework, they changed a lot of stuff. And if this thing is bigger than that, it'll be a potential game changer. So this is going to greatly affect PvP and PvM. I'm not too interested in PvP, but I'll be curious about it on the first day of release, where people are figuring out how to use special attacks, what different stuff does. But for PvM, it's going to greatly change how the combat works. So I'm going to be releasing my next guide after the combat rework, so I don't have to redo it after like 2 months and then they change the whole system. And it would be pretty nice to go to next again not knowing what certain stuff is, but more of what I'm doing rather than Nex's attack. As always, Jagex likes to hype up and update. That's good and all, but then it usually doesn't live up to the hype. So usually just take how big the hype is, drop it down a few notches, and that's probably how it'll be. So thank you for watching and have a nice day.